Bam! How you doing, everybody? Hope everybody's having a nice holiday weekend. Tomorrow's Easter. Pat McDonough's here. We're gonna have the Pat McDonough show tonight, so just stay there. Everything's gonna be fun and good.
That's Fox's Ed Henry. Newly released tax documents.
Bada boom, bada bing, bada bing, bada bang.
Football coach Art Briles more than $15 million after
All right,
firing
Ben.
him in 2016 in the wake of a sexual assault scandal that included allegations against some former players. Baylor also paying former school president Ken Starr more than $4.5 million after he resigned in that same year. An update on Jurassic World 3.
Just months before the second installment of the rebooted Jurassic World franchise hits theaters.
Do you remember the first time you saw a dinosaur?
Colin Trevorrow was named as director, according to a tweet from producer Frank Marshall. Trevorrow directed the first Jurassic World in 2015. Universal Pictures previously announced that Trevorrow and Emily Carmichael will co-write the movie, which is set for a June 2020 release. Carmichael co-wrote the sci-fi adventure Pacific Rim Uprising that was released last week. Trevorrow also co-wrote the franchise's second film,
Take it easy.
Fallen Kingdom, which opens June 22nd. Michelle Felino, Fox News.
To boxing, a unanimous decision. The world heavyweight
Michael
champion
Coleman, how you doing?
Anthony Joshua defeats Joseph Parker. Paul Stevens, Fox News Radio. High pressure is pushed offshore. Cold front will approach tonight and then pass through on Sunday. And we may finish out the weekend with some wintry weather. The clouds build in tonight as we drop it back to the low to mid 40s. Overcast skies Sunday. Afternoon high up to around 60.
Go.
Rain develops Sunday night. Snow could mix in. Overnight low to around 35. And we're looking at some rain and snow early. Monday. Monday's high only to around 40 degrees.
Set.
I'm Jeff
See what's
Eno,
going on.
Channel for Talk Radio 680
All right.
WCBM.
Bruce Elliott here. Many of you guys know that getting your teeth fixed is something you've needed to have done for a long time, but you put it off. Now, I used to fit in this category until I made my first appointment with Dr. Ed Laser at Cosmetic and Advanced Dentistry, and boy, am I
Mark Buddha, how you doing? Happy Easter.
Like me, you no longer need to worry about painful procedures or not having insurance or even how much this is going to set you back financially, because Dr. Laser takes the hassle out of cosmetic dentistry. His high-quality services won't cost you a fortune. Dr. Laser even has an in-office membership plan that covers routine cleanings, x-rays, and emergency exams. His clean, modern offices are welcoming, and his staff just treat you like a member of the family. They are great. Whether you need dentures, veneers, implants, or any other procedure, do what my wife and I have both done by calling Dr. Laser at Cosmetic and Advanced Dentistry today. That's 410-356-7799. Make this the year you finally get a perfect smile. Call now, 410-356-7799.
You may have thousands of dollars sitting around your home that you don't realize. The American Bullion Center will buy all of your unwanted jewelry, silverware, and coins. Talk to me, Rick Davis, the owner. I'm available Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So let me help you turn your unwanted valuables into the cash that you can use and deserve today. Visit me at the American Bullion Center, 2334 York Road in Timonium, or call 410.
Ron, do you have that list of who called last week?
License 2528.
The WCBM studios are sponsored by Safe Retirement Solutions. Call Ron Baroy today at 410-262.
Yeah, I almost forgot. I got
quite a few calls.
Yeah.
The views and opinions you hear on Talk Radio 680 WCBM at WCBM.com are not necessarily those of the
Here we
owners,
go.
management, employers, and advertisers of WCBM. But they should be.
The Pat McDonough Show is brought to you by Rally for America.
There we go, baby. Put the fan over here.
This is Talk Radio 680 WCBM. Time now for the Pat McDonough Show. Here's your host, Pat McDonough.
Bam.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the program. And we hope you are, along with your families, enjoying a blessed Easter weekend and a blessed Easter tomorrow. And to our Jewish friends, Passover, I believe, is on the way, and we hope that you are enjoying your Passover get-togethers.
Yes.
And
Yes.
if you have a chance, you're listening in tonight, we certainly thank you for that. But we're going to talk about a lot of things that I think are very interesting this evening. Of course, we will cover the Jimmy Mathis, Al Redmer Love Fest.
Yeah.
And we will put the baloney through the grinder and ask some serious questions
in relationship to Redmer's claims, so to speak. Also, Amazon, $5 billion in credits and benefits and tax breaks for Amazon from the taxpayers of Maryland. How do you feel about that? That's what the governor is promoting. I'm going to tell you how I feel about it. It should be an interesting discussion for all of us. Also, the youth of America.
7-4.
There have been some polls about the youth of America, mainly college, higher education youths. And I'm telling you, the radical left deserves an A+. The radical left deserves a Nobel Prize. The radical left deserves any gift, prize that you can give them. George Soros and the radical left have done their job. They have done their job on our youth. They have turned them into radical, leftist, socialist, brain-dead nuts.
Yep.
And their attitude, God help us if this is the future of America. Now,
God help us.
And you know, and at least we pray and hope, that that is not going to be the length and breadth of America's youth. I have a lot of young people that work for me, work in our campaign, and they certainly are very conservative, very patriotic, and they do not reflect these polls, but these are polls.
Yeah.
And their opinion of our president is beyond explanation, at least. And we're going to talk about that. That is very interesting. And Roseanne Barr is back. Roseanne, 18 million American citizens tuned in to Roseanne Barr because, I'll tell you, Roseanne Barr likes President Trump. She reflects the working class.
Whoa.
She is now the queen of the deplorables.
I didn't know that.
And
I didn't know that.
One thing I think she is proving is that the people in this country are tired of the crap that's been fed to them on television. White men, senior citizens are all dopes, you know. Families are, a special kind of family, which is okay with me. Different types of families, I understand. But the traditional family is not held in high regard. And Roseanne Barr's show, I think, is something that we're going to learn that the American people are sick and tired
WCBM.
of the politicization and the
Yeah,
criticism.
the WCBM, the Pat McDonough show, Ron Savage speaking. Who's calling?
Americans, and you're seeing it in the movies. How many faith-based, positive,
The world famous
inspiring
Ron
movies
Savage
are doing well? The one that's out right now, I can't think of the name of it. Somebody will call. Somebody will let me know.
Yes,
that
that's
movie
right.
is doing great. So these are some of the things we're going to talk about, and we'll start off with the Redmer interview. Redmer was on Jimmy's show for more than an hour and a half. Now, I've known Jimmy for years, and I've been on his radio show on many occasions, which I appreciate. I've never been on for more than a half an hour, unless I was running for office and it was a debate. I've never been on for more than a half an hour, but old Al, he got more than an hour to comment.
Yeah, I would put it lightly,
respond to some of the statements that Al made. The biggest of which was his executive skills.
Well, thank you. Well, I wish you and your family a very happy Easter as well.
Level, saying that he not only had more executive skills than any candidate running for the office of county executive.
Yeah, I'll be here all. Yeah, I'm definitely. I'm here after the show. With Professor Cole.
The office of county executive. Now, Al, that is pretty arrogant stuff, and of course, it's not true. Yes, he has.
Yeah. Please call for Commoner show, and I'll get you.
But he's been.
All right, my friend. Take care.
In a lot of lawsuits with those
nice talking to you.
companies.
Bye-bye.
Is that executive skill?
See, we got so many calls from last week. I can't do, because the rule is if you call last week, you can't call this week.
Does that mean that's executive skills? What about the consumers? Al?
Where was I?
And I think one of the greatest examples was when Al was the insurance commissioner under the Ehrlich administration, and we had a terrible experience called Tropical Storm Isabel. Remember Tropical Storm Isabel?
Oh, yeah, Isabel.
Yeah, I handled over 300 cases related to insurance
and
other problems.
I remember
ordinary citizens on the east side as a state legislator, and I didn't get paid except my regular salary. I just handled those cases because Al wouldn't handle them. If you remember, Al Redmer received quite a bit of criticism from the county executive of that time because Al was taking up for and taking care of the insurance companies. People were in dire straits.
Yeah.
They lost their homes. They were trying to collect insurance, and the insurance companies were saying, it's an act of God. You didn't have this insurance, you didn't have that insurance. And Al backed them up. He wasn't with the people. And let me tell you, Isabel Al is lucky if he gets 10 votes on the East County side. And that's executive skills right there. There's a real skill set. And since he's been commissioner this time, insurance rates have increased by 78%. Good job, Al. Those are executive skills. You certainly know how to raise insurance rates. But the question I have for Al, related to his executive skills, is the following. The legislature, including the Republican governor, the Democrat Speaker of the House, and the Democrat President of the Senate, got
you guys want to call, if you haven't called last week,
and created a new state tax,
410-922-6680. 410-922-6680. Call in.
Was part of this.
One more time, baby.
Insurance commissioner. 410-922-6680. This is a tax on insurance. And on the floor of the House, one of the politicians who was the leading architect of this $386 million insurance increase, and this is a new tax. I always said, when politicians increase a tax, they ought to be hung. I never voted for a tax increase in my career. If they increase an existing tax, they ought to be hung.
Never.
If they create a new tax, they ought to be hung twice. So Al, he ought to hang you twice.
Hey.
Now Al will say, well, I don't have a vote. No, but you were behind closed doors and you recommended to Democrats and Republicans alike. The Republican governor was part of this conspiracy with Miller and Bush. All you people call in here all the time and say, we got to get rid of that Miller and Bush. They're terrible. Well, the governor doesn't think they're terrible, and Al Redmer doesn't think they're terrible.
Right.
They got together with a $386 million new tax on insurance. You're going to pay for it. Now, let me tell you something. What does it accomplish? It saves the governor's job, and it saves other politicians' jobs because it's a Band-Aid. It's a one-time tax for this election year. Isn't that a coincidence? It's an election year, and it's a one-year tax to take $386 million from you. Guess what? Guess who they're going to give it to? They're going to give it to the insurance companies. And why are they giving it to the insurance companies? They call it reinsurance. I call it theft. They're going to give it to the insurance companies so that they will be able to hold down the rates for the people who have single coverage, not group coverage. They want to hold down the rates, and they want to make sure that Obamacare does not explode. So what is Al accomplishing with his executive skills? He's confiscating your money, $386 million.
Got him.
He's bailing out the insurance companies.
Yep.
It's an election year scam.
I hear
he
that.
has no plans as insurance commissioner, the top guy on insurance, the top expert. He has no plans for the future.
None.
And where has he been for 4 years? Why did he allow us to get to this position? Now, Trump and Congress in Washington did get rid of that $386 million federal tax. Why did they get rid of it at the federal level? Because they know the only way we can get rid of Obamacare is to explode it, implode it, destroy it.
Yeah.
So they got rid of this tax. What did Al Redmer, Governor Hogan, and the Democrats do? They transferred the federal tax, which was gone. You were not going to pay that tax this year. It was gone. They transferred it and made it a state tax. So now you're going to pay it, and it's going to prolong Obamacare in Maryland. So what are they accomplishing that's helpful to us with these executive skills that Al talks about?
2 minutes.
They're taking $386 million. It's a one-year political Band-Aid. It's an election year tax. And Al Redmer wants your vote. And they're prolonging Obamacare.
Yeah.
We didn't hear that on the Jimmy Mathis show, did we? No, we didn't hear any of that. We heard about Al's executive skills. Well, there's the executive skills. Isabel Al, increase in the rates, $386 million tax, and taking care of the insurance companies.
How do I do this?
Thank you, Al, for your executive skills, which you have more than any other county executive that ever existed, all the way back to the times of the Roman emperors. Apparently.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, Al was asked about Section 8. You know my position on Section 8. I'm going after it. I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to fight it.
Bada bing.
Well, Al was wishy-washy.
Come on, baby.
Didn't appear to know much about Section 8. And I don't think we can rely on Al, who is an establishment politician that likes to have rich friends. You got to remember, I'm the little guy in this race. I'm the guy that's running against Al's big money. I'm the guy that's running against the insurance industry. I'm the guy that's running against the Republican establishment.
There it is.
That's who I am. Now, who are you?
That's right.
What do you want? You know we need change. We need to cut the link between the establishment and the power brokers and the machine in this county. You think Al Redmer is going to do that with his big money insurance friends? He's got so many $6,000 contributors.
Here it is.
It's scary. He thinks he's going to buy the election over me. I don't have $6,000 contributors. You know what I have? 20, 30, 40.
Yeah.
But you know how many I have? 1,400. 5 times as many as Al.
Yeah.
And they all vote and their families vote.
Yes.
But we are taking in the money. We're taking in enough to get the job done, to defeat the establishment and to defeat the insurance industry.
There he is.
Now, here's another thing. What about a conflict of
There he
interest?
is.
You, the taxpayers, are paying for Al Redmer's campaign. You're giving him $160,000 a year.
And straighten up.
And he's still
never
insurance
in this
commissioner.
world. Never.
That's a conflict of interest.
Never.
How about those executive skills? That's very skillful on Al's part.
That's right.
To go out and be a part-time insurance commissioner. Of course, he put in enough time to create a $386 million tax. He did get that done. We give him credit.
We give him credit for that.
But he's a part-time insurance commissioner and a full-time candidate. Don't tell me he's in his office every day. I see him out campaigning. And you're paying $160,000 a year for this guy.
Hey,
and guess what?
Christ.
One thing we can say, he does have a deputy who is supposed to, help out, take care. The deputy is his campaign manager. You not only don't have Al.
Oh, man.
You don't have Isabel Al.
Full
you don't
circle
even have
going.
his campaign manager. Who is watching the shop? Anybody home? Anybody home? No, Al and the deputy are out.
Nobody's home.
Here's another one. This is the one I love. Now,
Now,
it says in the ethics code for the state of Maryland that when you run for public office, it creates the appearance of a conflict of interest. You should vacate the office and take a leave of absence. Where's Al's leave of absence? I believe he's violating the ethics code of the state of Maryland, and I'm filing a complaint about it. I want an investigation. What is this guy doing? This is a massive conflict of interest. How can Al go out and ask people for money and ask people for votes?
Mark, did you call last week?
Regulates them. Redmer regulates everybody in the state of Maryland. Who doesn't have insurance? Well, not only insurance agents,
where are you calling
pharmacies, medical institutions. They all give money to Al, and he regulates all of
Wait, hold on.
them. You tell me that is not a conflict of interest.
Okay, let me.
I will sell you a bridge across the Chesapeake Bay if it's ever built. That second.
All right, and where are you calling from, Baltimore?
That's one of the problems. We didn't hear about that on the Jimmy Mathis show. No,
Okay.
we didn't hear about
And what would you
that.
like to talk about? A couple words.
Violation of the campaign
What would you like to talk about? A
laws.
couple words. We're going into a
With
commercial.
the governor, we didn't hear about that.
Al.
The
Let's talk about
subject was
Al.
brought up about these knuckleheads who,
Okay.
who want to
All right, Mark, let me see this 1 second.
merge the
I'm sorry,
the
Bart.
city
I
of
put Bart in there
Baltimore
for him to say. I'm
with
trying to edit
Baltimore
this.
County.
All right, then, hold on, please.
As county executive, it would be a cold
Okay.
day in hell and over my
Yeah,
dead body.
fucking funny. He's got a
Because
bad
one of the
freaking.
things
Let's go
we're gonna
F4
We're
and
not
1.
going to not go to Mergeville. We are going to get away from the city. We're going to start to put Baltimore County
Bart.
first. We're not going to be
Bart.
subservient to the city, subsidize the city. If my cops go into the city, you know what's going to
Bada
happen?
bing, bada bing, bada boom.
I'm going to get a check before they
There
get
he is.
there. Okay?
Bart.
And we're not going to do any of this nonsense where whatever the city wants, the city gets. It's about time Baltimore County stopped being a second-class citizen. We'll be right back.
Here we go, Doc of the Bay, huh?
Sitting in the morning sun.
Otis. Coming in.
What is this guy?
This guy, first time caller, I asked him to call before he parked it. He was talking about Al.
How did you get
It's all about Al. He's mad about Al.
Sure.
I remember you saying with Al.
Yes, sir.
Good candidate, first time caller.
Sure, you can handle it. Zero
Right
problem,
here.
sir.
The radio ads say all we have to do is point.
WCBM, the Pat McDonough show runs Saturday. Speaking, who's calling tonight?
Fight your way to that refrigerator back there.
Hey, Joe, did you call last week?
Now it's my turn, honey.
Joe, you got to wait to next week because anybody that called last week can not talk this week.
Do you have anything in the attic or the back?
All right, thanks. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to tell these people not to call them. I'm like Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? But that's okay. That's okay. That's the rules. That's the rules. Bill Harvey's here. Chris Klein, how you doing? Who else? How you doing? Hey, listen, call up. If you called last week, don't call because you can't call in. All right, see that? 410-922-6680. Call that number. Call that number, all right? That's what you're going to do. It's going to be a terrific great show with Pat. Hallelujah. Come on, hallelujah. Yeah. Mike. Oh, I'm popular. Yeah, of course. Need a clarification as no one could call in last week. Yes, but I called in. No, Mike, you can call in. You didn't call last week. You didn't call last week, so you can call. Call up on the phone. Mike didn't call. Did you call last? No, you didn't call last week. Yeah. If you called last week, you can't call this week. You got to wait.
Because we only sell them online at
Pat's.
Our sheets cost less than half of designer brands and are twice the quality. Hundreds of thousands of
Yeah.
love Bowl and Branch sheets.
We're going to come back with the Partridge Family. I think I love you. I love you. Nah. It's been really wild. This is the Easter weekend holiday, and it's pretty wild. It's just a lot of stuff going on out there. And Pat addresses each and every one. He addresses out there. It's going to be terrific. It's always a great 2 hours of Saturday night from 8 to 10 right here on WCBM 680. You should always listen in. And if you're a friend of my page on the face of the book, then you can see this live too, how it goes on and all the shenanigans that goes behind the camera. That's all.
Dr. Laser even has an in-office membership plan that covers routine cleanings, x-rays, and emergency exams. Its clean, modern offices are welcoming, and the staff just treats you like a member of the family. They are great. Whether you need dentures, veneers, implants, or any other procedure, do what my wife and I have both done by calling Dr. Laser at Cosmetic and Advanced Dentistry today. That's 410-356-7799. Make this the year you finally get a perfect smile. Call now. 410-356-7799.
The Jimmy Mathis Show can now be heard here on
Jesus Christ.
WCBM. Join me, Jimmy Mathis, every Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m., where we will break down the
Here we
stories
go.
to you. The Jimmy Mathis Show brings you Maryland's biggest newsmakers and the most powerful names in politics.
See more commercials, and then we'll come in.
Conservative talk.
Oh, Bill Gibbons joined. That's cool. That's cool to see Bill Gibbons here, huh?
Maryland's voice for conservatism.
On a Saturday night, Easter weekend, I think it's terrific. It's always great. Now the weather.
Pushed offshore, cold front will approach tonight and then pass through on Sunday. And we may finish out the weekend with some wintry weather. The clouds build in tonight as we drop it back to the low to mid 40s. Overcast skies Sunday, afternoon high up to around.
God, get out of the 40s, please.
Sunday night, snow
And I hate cold weather. I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
35, and we're looking at some rain and snow early Monday. Monday's high only.
Rain and snow Monday.
I'm Javino from the Weather Channel.
It's supposed to be springtime. It's not springtime.
CBM.
Hi, I'm Dr.
No
Melissa
way.
Segev, one of the doctors of Audiology Associates.
One more commercial. We'll go right to Pat. You can see him.
In Maryland for over 35 years. Audiology Associates has grown to include
Can you move this way?
throughout Maryland, including
No, he's reading something. We can see him.
The past 35 years have
I don't want to go in there because there's one commercial left.
This includes how we
You see him right there?
audiologists
There he is.
also known as tinnitus.
Yeah.
85 million Americans suffer from tinnitus, and it is the #1 disability experienced by our returning soldiers. Tinnitus is
WCBM, the Pat McDonough Show, Ron Savage speaking. Who's calling tonight?
treatable. If you suffer from tinnitus,
All right, Mike, hold on. We're
one of
going to
our
run
doctors
into this
evaluate
commercial. I
you
might have to
and
hold
develop
on.
a
Okay,
treatment
hold on.
plan. Call our main number at 410-944-3100 or visit our website at aaiaudiology.com
No,
to
it's
make an
freaking
appointment.
nuts.
Your initial
Hey,
consultation
listen.
is covered by
What do you want to
full
talk about real
insurance
quick so I know when to come back
Call
and defend it? Get it.
410-944-3100.
Hold on, I got it.
Audiology Associates with silent.
Hold on, Mike. I got you on the phone. Hold on. There he goes, baby.
And now more of the Pat McDonough Show on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Welcome back, everybody. We have a call from Barton Parkton, which reminds me we have a town meeting, a legislative town meeting
Mike.
coming up in Parkton
Hey, Mike,
with
what do you want to talk
Councilman
about?
Wade
And you're right
Catch
after this guy, Bart.
and some of the delegates up there. I don't know the date, but it's coming up. And also
City,
on
county, police.
April the 21st, which is a Saturday. By then, I hope
Okay,
it will be
subject.
nice weather. We are going to have a terrific
You got it,
rally.
You just hang on there,
out
Mike. I'll
the,
get phone. You're number 2.
Parkton
All right,
American Legion. Beautiful location. We had an
Mike,
event
you're number
here
2.
2 months ago. It was sold
Number
out.
2.
Packed. We couldn't even get people in there. There were so many people. And we're going to have another big rally up there on April the 21st. So go to our website, which is patmcdonough.com, or go to our Facebook, which is Pat McDonough MD on Facebook, or listen
Good
to
to
our
see you
program
too, Mike
Saturday
Lesser,
night,
brother.
and we will tell you about how you can
Happy
get
Easter.
Tickets for that event. I'll give you the phone number right now for our office. It's
That's right.
410-238-0025. That's 410-238-0025. If you live up in the Parkton area in Northern Baltimore County, we would like to get together with you. We have a huge following up there, growing every day, and we're very happy about that. Here is Bart in Parkton. Bart, good evening.
Hello, Pat. That opening song you had is so appropriate because I want you to wake us up from this nightmare in Baltimore County right now that I can't seem to wake up from.
Well, we listened to Al in the previous hour and a half. It was a love fest, and there was nothing said there that meant anything.
Nothing.
There doesn't seem to be any passion in what Al made. A couple of points that made sense, and my lawyer will call his lawyer for plagiarism, but regardless, there's no passion there, and I don't think
zero.
And for him to say he has the skill sets that are better than any county executive that ever lived, and then to have this track record with Tropical Storm Isabel and this $386 million new tax, which he is the behind-the-scenes architect of.
Unbelievable.
The guy's got a lot of nerve. I'll give him credit.
Well, I'm trying to figure out if Al and his little tag-along Zachary Peters are running the campaign, who's running the insurance office, right? The insurance administration office right now.
Well, that's a legitimate question, isn't it?
Yes, I wonder who's running the show over there. Is the janitor running the show over there? Or what? What's going on?
Well, the point is, the ethics law in the state of Maryland states that you cannot create the appearance of a conflict of interest. We know a lot of insurance people are giving Al money. We know that a lot of families of insurance people are giving Al money. And we know he's out on the streets campaigning when he should be doing his job. Now, insurance is what's more important to the state of Maryland right now than health insurance and Obamacare? And what does he come up? His solution for 4 years, he had an opportunity to come up with solutions to try to. He knew what was coming. After all, he has skill sets, right? He's good. He's an exec. He couldn't. Other states have created waivers for 4 years with the federal government to try to help
the things that go on. Happy
Easter,
Easter, brother, to you, Michael. Bless me.
Alleviate this coming nuclear bomb. What did Redmer do? He did nothing.
Nothing.
And now, what's his solution? An election year tax on the people of the state of Maryland for $386 million. Him and the governor together came up with that.
Hold on it.
Just a couple more things before I hang up the other callers coming in. So State Farm Insurance informs me that they were just approved an across-the-board RV insurance increase. I kind of wonder where that came from.
Well, he's improved 78% increases in 4 years on insurance in the state of Maryland.
Almost $1,000 due to this new approved across the board increase, which I think is kind of crazy.
Al Redmer has never seen an insurance increase he didn't like.
And yeah, exactly. And last thing, Pat, before I go, and thank you for trying to save our beautiful Baltimore County. On the eve of Easter, there's a little saying in the Bible that the ruler of men should be just. I don't think that Al is really that just.
I think Al's a nice guy. He's a hustler. He's an empty suit. He's an establishment
Living
guy.
like die, yeah.
He's got the governor's
That's
money.
a good song.
The money he's getting from the governor. There's only one
Wait a
person
second.
in this entire race
Wait a second.
who comes
Mario
from the
Mo Minaldi's here.
who is the people's
Mario Mo Minaldi's here.
Donations from the little people in this county.
Woo!
Who is sincere and dedicated to change.
How you doing, brother?
There's
Happy
only
Easter.
one person, and that's me.
The little people matter.
Yeah, they do.
Yes, they
And-
do.
And I matter.
All right, thank you.
Hey, thanks, Pat.
All right, thank you. We'll talk with Mike.
Hey, Mike, you're on, baby.
Mike, good evening.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, how you doing? I think we need clarification on your statement that Baltimore County Police shouldn't be giving city police freebies.
Yeah.
I understand that that's because of what politically happened in regards to the riot.
Yes.
But when the precinct level, it's very vital that city and the county are free to work with each other.
Oh, yeah, not only free to work with each other, but to
Yeah.
aggressively work with each other. We're not going to protect Baltimore County unless we have a good relationship with the city police. And I'm advocating the New York police deployment style, which is called neighborhood sector policing, which is the best police department in the world.
Yep.
And we've been up there and we've talked with people, and we're going to be talking more and more about how that works. You see, in Baltimore County, we have a wonderful police force. We have wonderful people. No corruption that we know of, but very professional people. But here's the thing. We have, to some degree, a suburban type police department in a county that's becoming an urban county.
And it's also policy oriented, which politically oriented as well,
Peter
which
Gordon.
is creating problems.
Right. It's a 30% increase. There's an uptick in unreported crime, and I've seen it, I've witnessed it, and I can tell you, I am determined to not only never allow Baltimore County to become Baltimore City in terms of crime, but I am determined to wipe out the uptick we have right now. That's going to take intelligent, aggressive.
Now applause
where,
again.
just like Mayor Giuliani, I'm going to be the rebirth of Mayor Giuliani.
Yes.
I'm going to support my guys and gals 100%.
Yeah.
And we are going to have citizens on patrol.
That's the
from
ticket.
Edgemere to Arbutus in every community. And we are going to be a rule of law, tough county. And the criminals, after 6 months of a McDONOUGH administration, are going to say, you don't go to that county, because that's not Baltimore City. That guy comes from a different attitude.
Yeah. And also, I'm on the city-county line, and in the city, I'm being tested almost every day to see if I can be robbed.
Yes.
And usually the people that start causing the problems in the county, I see in the city first.
Right.
So it's one of the things I've been trying. It's not only intelligence, it's intelligence as well. And
Yes.
I think at the precinct level, they can share information and a lot.
Well, one of the products, Mike, of sector policing is, I think we have 7 precincts in the county that have about 300 professional law enforcement personnel in each one. We're going to create a minimum of 20 police centers. We're going to break those big gargantuan
See what
precincts down.
Michael Lester just said, that Baltimore County Police are 100% more professional than Baltimore City Police. Baltimore County Police are 100% more professional than Baltimore
of intelligence
City.
gathering, neighborhood cooperation, being on the
Plus, they don't
streets
have
in
anybody
your
telling them to
neighborhood.
stand
Our police are
down.
gonna know
Let them
everybody's name,
let them
just
destroy
like at
shit.
the bar cheers. We're going to know every business owner's name, and we're going to know where Bubba
Just
is.
look at the element, okay?
And business owners, it's important because so many want to quit.
That'll answer all the questions.
Yes, and we're not going to be that way. Baltimore County is going to be a place. I'm going to turn
2
Baltimore
minutes.
County into a sanctuary county, not a sanctuary for illegal immigrants, because I'm going to get rid of them in the first 6 months, but a sanctuary for decent, good, productive people.
Yes.
And they're going to say,
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate the call. All right, we're going to take a break, a little early break here, and then we're going to come back and we're going to switch from the great Al Redmer and his his executive skills. I don't know whether to call him Isabel Al or election year tax Al. I don't know. He has so many assets, you don't know where to start. Yeah. But anyway, we're going to talk about Amazon.
Oh,
this
Amazon,
is going to be interesting. We'll be right back.
Was an open book. You used to say, live and let live.
Honey, this weekend, let's have a little fun. I was on Turf Alley's website, turfalley.com, and I found some great golf and spa packages.
Speaking of news,
Turf Valley hosted beautiful weddings for over 50 years.
They sure have. And did you know they have over 172 rooms and suites to stay in?
I did, because I stayed there for business. They have over
I got you on
4,000
this.
square feet of meeting space, too.
That sounds great. We could have one of their relaxing spa treatments,
That's
or
it. But I thank
we
you
could play
again.
golf
Please
on
keep
one of
listening.
their 2 championship
Thank you, sir.
courses.
They also have an indoor and outdoor pool and 3 tennis courts. So pack your swimsuit and your tennis racket.
I can't wait to eat at Alexandra's American Fusion Restaurant. Everything sounded so delicious.
Call 410-465-1500, or you can visit their website, turfvalley.com, to make reservations.
I ain't telling people
That
no.
number 410.
That was a good song, Mike.
1500 and made the reservations. All we need to do now
Live and
is
let
show
die.
up
So live and,
and have
I
fun.
should have played it until it goes into the part. So live and let die. Good James Bond movie. Trivia quiz question. What was Live and Let Die with Paul McCartney and Wings? Which movie was that in James Bond? Go ahead, figure it out. And write it over here. No, write it in there. There it is. That space.
At checkout. That's Vistaprint.com. Promo code
Bada bing.
2000.
Hi, I'm Scott Tannen.
Oh, I get
the softest, most comfortable organic cotton sheets you'll ever sleep on. Because we only sell them online at bowlandbranch.com.
I got one, man, huh?
Our sheets cost less than
Wow.
designer brands and are twice the quality.
Well, we'll come back with another brick in the wall from Pink Floyd. How's that one, huh?
Including 3
That's a
U.S.
good one.
presidents. Right now, get $50 off your first set of
That
sheets
is
plus
good.
free shipping at
Hallelujah.
bowlandbranch.com. Promo code
Oh.
SLEEP, spelled B-O-L-L, and branch.com. Promo code SLEEP.
Listen every Sunday from 6:05 to 6:20 a.m. for a broadcast from the internationally known St. Jude Shrine in Baltimore. St. Jude is the patron saint of despair and hopeless cases. Join us every Sunday from 6:05 to 6:20 a.m. on WCBM.
One of the most common New Year's resolutions is to spend less and save more. Too many
Holy
times
Toledo,
we were
man.
told the way to achieve financial stability now or in retirement is to cut our expenses. How exciting does that sound? Instead of downgrading your lifestyle, why not learn to create an extra source of income? Ever wonder what it takes to generate
Everybody's
extra
like,
income
you got
from
guys
hobbies?
who said applause. They said applause. Applause.
Half-day class.
God.
Where you will see exactly what it takes to develop that skill.
Get out of here.
511
I just noticed
And when
my
you register, they'll send
my
you a
battery's
Wall Street
getting a little
Insider's
over
kit.
here.
Get started right away.
So I gotta freaking go put it on.
511 trade. They will even throw in a free extra ticket so you
That's
can invite
okay,
a
we
friend
got
to
it
this
covered.
potentially life-changing class. Call 844-511-TRADE.
I'll do all the right things.
Go online to OTAclass.
Do all the right things.
Online Trading Academy can teach you the skills to make money when markets go up.
I'll tell
or
you
down. Call 844-511-TRADE. That's 844-511-8723 or OTAclass.com.
As a small business owner, you make every dollar count. So what can you do with $10? Go to Vistaprint.com today and you
Yeah. Now it's charging up.
for only $9.99.
Now it's charging up. Russell Few, don't worry. We got the computer charging.
Your satisfaction is
Yeah.
absolutely guaranteed.
And while you're all sitting around, if you called last week, you can't call this week. Have to wait next week. That's okay. For those who didn't, you can call right here. See? You can call right there. What is this? What is this?
Hi, I'm Scott Tannen, founder of Bowl and Branch.
Get outta
The
here.
softest, most comfortable.
Oh, Mike wrote a big thing.
You'll ever sleep on. Because
He said, Mike says, Mike Lester, it depends. One city's problems is they are running around a lot. Wait, what does that say? Run around and have a lot of frustrations and they get more crap. Not the best fans in the city either. And he says, I get that attitude look and mention it in a business and they're at least listen. Hold on, baby. Here we go. Another brick in the wall. I told you this is good stuff.
And now more of the Pat McDonough Show on
You're on,
Talk
baby.
Radio 680 WCBM.
I like this song. You know, we could play this song when we talk about the youth and their education, right? This would be perfect. Anyway, we're going to talk about Amazon. I'm going to give you an education on Amazon.
Education.
You know about Amazon? Jeff Bezos, the liberal progressive owner of Amazon, who's making billions and billions and billions of dollars, owns the Washington Post newspaper, which he bought at a sale.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it constantly attacks Donald Trump, constantly attacks capitalism. But he's making billions. Typical of these new billionaires like Zuckerberg with Facebook. They make billions of dollars off the capitalistic free enterprise system, and they're all progressive socialists. I don't get it.
I don't either.
How does that work?
I don't either. I don't either.
Same way with the guy from Google.
Yeah.
And they're going to take away our liberty and our privacy. But Amazon is the new Walmart. It's worse than Walmart. Worse. What's the comparison, McDonough? What are you talking about, Walmart? Well, you know what? Walmart is killing small businesses in America. Walmart was originally designed, I think it was Sam Walton was the guy's name.
Walton, that's right.
Sam came up with an idea in Arkansas where in some of the rural areas, the country areas, they didn't have different stores of different types to sell clothing, furniture, food. So Sam came up with an idea where he put it all under one roof. It's American enterprise. It was a good idea. But then Walmart expanded, went all over the world, and went into wherever it went, it killed small business. It just killed it. Mom and pop shops, dead. Now, Amazon is even bigger than Sam Walton. He's going into groceries. He's going to be going into selling cars and shoes pretty soon. Oh, he does. I'm sorry, I forgot. So Amazon, pardon me, is moving from the West Coast. He's a West Coastie, right? But he bought the East Coast liberal progressive Washington Post. And he said, if you bribe me and give me all your tax money, I will give you 40 to 50,000 jobs. And I will build my new plant on the East Coast, probably. He doesn't say East Coast, but that's where he's headed. So everybody, all the politicians around the United States scrambled. Come to us, Jeffy. Come, Jeffy. Here, take our children, take our grandchildren, take our money, take everything, Jeffy. Just come, please. Well, Jeffy got down to the point where he had like 20 locations. Baltimore City, that's a joke. They were going to go to Port Covington, Baltimore City. Port Covington's not shovel ready for anything, okay? So that was a joke, and I'll get back to that in a minute.
True.
One of the reasons the bill is coming up next week. It's coming up next week. The governor wants to give $5 billion corporate welfare to Jeffy. Well, he's not a conservative governor. He's a rhino.
Rhino.
He wants to give $5 billion to Jeffy and our tax incentive money, right? Now, I'm voting against this bill. I'm going to tell you why in a minute. But anyway, Jeff is focusing on the Washington area. I think he's going to do something in Washington. He's looking at Montgomery County, one of the richest counties in the world. He's looking at downtown Washington.
PP's here. How you doing, buddy?
He's looking at Northern Virginia suburbs. Now, here's the thing. Jeffy wants to be a power broker with the Washington Post, and he wants to be a power broker in Washington. He's actually using the Washington Post as a lobbying tool in Congress to get what he wants. And President Trump came out, that's what you love about this guy, and he said, yes, you're using it as a lobbyist. You should register the Washington Post as a lobbyist. Well, Jeffy didn't like that, of course, and the radical left, well, freedom of speech, First Amendment, newspapers. Okay, so now we get back to Amazon. They're going to bring 40 to 50,000 jobs. Here's a legitimate question. How many jobs do you think they are going to kill in the surrounding area of mom and pop and small business shops. How many are they going to kill? Are they going to kill 40 or 50,000? I don't know. But they're not going to help.
No, they're not.
Okay?
No, they're not.
Now, $5 billion. I got to ask you, $5 billion. Remember at the beginning of the year when the governor and Miller and Bush, which are becoming like an unholy alliance, when they said at the beginning of the year, well, we lost about $500 million, the taxpayers of Maryland, because of the Trump tax cut. Have you noticed your paychecks are increasing? Isn't it wonderful? President Trump, we love you.
Yes.
So anyway, at the beginning of the year, the unholy trio said, we will fix this. We will change the tax structure in the state of Maryland and get you back that $500 million. Now, you're losing it. It's our fault. We know it's our fault because this is occurring only in the high tax states. The normal tax states, their taxpayers aren't losing anything.
Right.
They're just getting the tax break. But in a big high tax state like Maryland, yes, we're you people, which we caused, we admit we caused, so we're going to make it up to you. You know, it's an election year. We have to make it up to you. So we are going to find $500 million in our budget.
Lord,
we are going to give this to you to make up and make you even. We're going to make you square. Okay? So what happens? It comes to the end of the year. Guess what they gave you? $100 million. $100 million. So they can't find the $500 million to make you square, but they can give Jeffy $5 billion. You think I'm going to vote for that governor? You're crazy.
Zero.
Now, the Kerwin Commission comes out with a report. It says we need $300 or $400 million to increase education in the state of Maryland, where a lot of people can't read and write, and our superintendents go away to jail. We're really doing well on the education picture. But now we don't have the money for that. But we can give Jeffy $5 billion.
Yeah.
And do you really think Jeffy's going to come here? I mean, let's face it. Is Maryland really a pro-business state? How is that FBI headquarters coming along over there in Prince George's County? Is that building right along? No, it's not there. No. And it's never going to be there. But here's what ticks me off. And this is a special rant. This is a special
WCBM,
rant.
the Pat Show, Ron Savage speaking. Who's calling, please?
Citizens in Baltimore County.
Hey, Pete, did you call last weekend?
Remember when Jeffy offered this bribe to the state of Maryland?
Last weekend?
What did the Baltimore County executive do? Did the
You
Baltimore
are now
County
eligible
executive say, listen,
Haven't done
I
live
have
airs all over Saturday Night
Atlantic,
Live.
Trade Point Atlantic,
Towers that we built ourselves.
the old
You should see
Sparrows
it.
Point,
It's one of those,
3,100 acres.
Charleston Heston.
It's shovel ready and ready to go. Jeffy, bring
Okay,
Amazon to Baltimore County.
Okay.
Did the county executive say that? No.
Wait, I'm
Did the county executive say,
Oh,
I
man. I'm sorry, again. What's that?
on Route 43, it's functioning, it's
D.
successful. Come over here,
Oh, Pete.
Jeffy. Come to Baltimore County.
PET.
No.
And you were in Centerville.
Kevin Kamenetz didn't say that. You know what Kevin Kamenetz said?
And
He said,
you.
Jeffy, go to Baltimore City and go to Port Covington. Why would Kevin Kamenetz
Amazon.
stab Baltimore County citizens in
Amazon
the back?
information.
Why would he betray us? Because he's
Oh,
running
man,
for
guess
governor.
what? You're the very next caller, Pete from Centerville.
Votes in
You just
Baltimore
hold him, my
City.
friend. I'll get you right
He
on.
doesn't
All
care
right.
about the people.
There he is. There he is.
He doesn't.
God bless him. Pete from Centerville. Barry Selvey, how you doing? Happy Easter.
The last time I looked, the governor is
Here
the
we go.
governor of the state of Maryland. That means everybody.
Yeah.
So Amazon had a little pitch, which they survived, and they're still in the ball game.
Show elements.
I think Howard County had a pitch.
Yeah.
Baltimore
yeah.
City had Port Covington.
Mhm.
And we had nothing, of course, because our county executive betrayed us and treated us like dirt. Now,
That's right. No way. No way.
what did the governor do? Did the governor say, we'll take care of Howard County? We'll take care of... No. He said, we want to go to Port Covington.
Yes.
He is the governor of Baltimore City. Everything he does is for Baltimore City.
That's right.
Baltimore County, I'm telling you, we are second-class citizens. We are in the back of the bus. It's embarrassing. It's insulting.
It
and
is.
I'm getting tired of it. Now, when Redmer was on with Mathis and on Jimmy's show, and he was asked about the merging of the city and the county, he was kind of lukewarm. We didn't like it. But I'm telling you, it'll be over my dead body as county executive. It'll be a cold day in hell when we ever consider anything about Baltimore City. It
Yeah.
is about time we started taking care of Baltimore County, and I will stand up on the floor of the House next week, and I will tell the governor and all the people in the legislature that I'm not voting for Amazon because you treated the people of Baltimore County like dirt.
That's right.
And if you think I'm
That's
voting for this Jeffy guy to come in here and steal jobs and take $5 billion when our kids can't read or write, and we have taken taxes away from our people, you're crazy.
Yes. Yes.
That's a skill set right there.
That
okay?
is. That is.
So anyway, that's how I feel about it. Let's see how you feel about it. 410-922-6680. That's 410-922-6680. 1-800-922-6680.
Call this
Now we're
number
gonna talk to Pete
from Centerville.
who's in Centerville.
Boom.
Pete.
Go, Pete.
Pete's gone. What happened to Pete?
He was on there. I have no idea.
The Russians took him. Poor Pete. His neighbors, the Russians, Obama got rid of
Oh
them.
my God.
And now
Hey, Pete.
the other Russians, Trump got rid of. Pete, you
Hey.
have no more Russians.
Hey.
Anyway, if you don't know the story about Pete, Pete lived next to that.
Pete's still on there.
Is he? Well, I lost
Hold
him.
on. Hold on. I'm going to put you on hold again.
But Pete lived next to a mansion where Russians live, and they took away his Russian neighbors, and now we're
You
getting
pressed
rid
the
of
wrong
our-
button.
Is this Pete? We're just trying so hard. I think I pressed. Let's try this.
7.
Is Pete there?
He's here.
Pete is
Yay.
finally there. Yes.
Be true.
You're in. You're in.
Thank
Pete.
God.
Hey, listen. What's his name? Dr. Savage the other night was talking about Amazon and Bezos. Okay?
Yeah.
Hear me?
Yeah, but you're bleeding through, Ron.
Okay. Bezos and Amazon.
Yes.
Dr. Savage said that his he operates out of Luxembourg. His headquarters is in Luxembourg. He pays no taxes in the United States.
Really?
Yeah. So check that
You okay
one
now,
out.
Coach?
I will.
Michael Savage
Beautiful.
on the radio station
Beautiful.
said that he operated out of Luxembourg, and that was his headquarters were, and he doesn't pay any taxes here. And in fact, the European
Wow. Some of the things I hear, I'm dying over here. I'm dying.
All right. Well, we will Google. We will use the other War on America alien shadow government company, Google.
Yeah.
But you know that you know darn well that he bought the Washington Post so that he could get into control political stuff.
Absolutely, no question about it. All of these guys are buying these raggedy liberal newspapers that are dying, and they're buying them like fire sales.
Yeah.
Well, he wants to control everything. He wants to get in the food business. He wants to control every darn thing.
That's right.
100 years from now, when aliens from another world finally decide to come here, it will be the Amazon world. It will be the world of Amazon.
That's
We'll all be
right.
wearing uniforms. We'll purchase everything from Amazon. We will speak in an Amazonian language. Jeff Bezos will have statues everywhere, not George Washington.
No.
And no one will have the freedom or the courage to tear down a Jeff Bezos statue.
Oh, no. Not
If
at
you
all.
go in a Walmart store, you cannot find anything there that isn't made in China. They have their own fleet of ships that bring the stuff back here from China.
Well, if you go into a Walmart store in China, you can't find anything there that isn't made in America.
Wow.
That'll be the day, right?
That will be the day, yeah.
All right, Pete, listen, they keep getting rid of all your Russian friends.
WCBM, the Pat McDonough Show, Ron Savage speaking. Who's calling tonight?
Full of holes, and I don't have any
Cedric,
money
did
to
you call
fix
last
my
week?
roads. The Russians didn't give me money to
Okay, yeah, I'll see.
Did they ever come back?
What?
The Russians, did they ever come back?
And
Oh,
Cedric,
no,
we
they
call.
haven't come back. I don't know if they'll ever let them come back
Come
now.
on.
I mean, it's just the things that they're deteriorating all the time. I mean, I
And
don't know
Cedric,
what
in a
it's all
couple words,
about.
what would you like to talk about tonight?
You know, they're all the time. They're
Oh, gotcha.
rejecting our diplomats, and we throw out more of their diplomats and so forth and so on.
Okay.
And
All right, well, listen.
Okay, Cedric, you're the very next call. We'll get you right on.
good luck to you in the election.
Okay,
All
thank
right,
you.
I'm going to have my agents Google Amazon. We'll dig up a lot of stuff for next week.
Yeah.
Here is Cedric. How are you?
Hey, how's it going, Pat?
Good, Cedric, now.
I wanted to touch a little bit on this Amazon thing, how we're doing it to ourselves, because we just can't live without this.
Yeah.
online shopping foolishness. I can't
Yeah, Mike
stand
says
it. I
there.
don't even like giving up my
David Savino.
stuff.
Well, we have no privacy.
Yeah, I don't
No
like
privacy
it at all.
whatsoever.
I don't like it at all. And I wanted to also touch on this David Hogg situation. Have you heard anything about that? We're
No.
going after Laura Ingraham. Yeah, she's going to be off the air, I believe, for about a week or so.
Really?
Yeah. She made a comment about this David Hogg character.
Oh, he's one of these young crime.
Come on over here.
Yes.
There,
He's
that's in
the
there.
one with the March of Our Lives thing. With that,
Yes, sponsored by George Soros.
Yes.
Financed
A little
by
bit now. There he is.
Bloomberg.
Absolutely.
All right.
And she made a comment that he couldn't be admitted to a college or some university, and they come after her in the advertising.
1 minute
pulling out of
heartbreak.
her show.
It's part of the political. No, they have a political machine from the left that hates America. It's a war on America. She's effective. She's smart. She's courageous. And part of it is these phony marches financed by people like Soros and these phony attacks. They're all set up and ready to attack anytime.
Yes, and they're actually coming out of the closet now saying they want to repeal the Second Amendment. Did you see this, Justice?
30 seconds.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Okay, thank you, Cedric. We got it great.
all right.
Thank you.
Make you think and let you see one thing for yourself. But now you're off with someone else and I'm alone. See, I thought that I might keep you for my.
Let's call Amy, pure parallel, baby.
And now,
Mm-hmm.
WCBM.com.
Yes.
The president and the governor. I'm Paul Stevens, Fox News.
Yes.
President Trump tweeting his anger with California Governor Jerry Brown after Brown pardoned 5 immigrants facing deportation.
President put on Twitter,
Bye-bye.
Governor Jerry Moonbeam Brown pardoned 5 criminal illegal aliens whose crimes include 1, kidnapping and robbery, 2, badly beating wife and threatening a crime with intent to terrorize, 3, dealing drugs. Is this what the people, the great people of California want? At Fox News.
Fox's Peter Ducey. Governor Brown's pardon.
Hey, how you like
stop the
that?
deportation process, but they do prevent authorities from using any convictions as a basis for a deportation. A 5th day of protests in Sacramento, California today
The
over the
pen
shooting of
is
an unarmed
ringing.
black man, Stefan Clark, by 2 police officers last week. The family ordered autopsy, saying Clark was shot by police 8 times, primarily in the back. That shooting is being investigated by police and other officials as well. At St. Peter's Basilica in Rome on Saturday. Pope Francis holding an Easter Vigil Mass. At that Mass, he urged worshipers to honor the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Of course, tomorrow is Easter Sunday. Democrats' weekly media
Well,
address
happy Easter
coming
to
from
you,
New
Eric.
Jersey Senator Cory Booker, focusing on last week's March for Our Lives in Washington, demanding tougher gun control.
That's why people marched.
Yeah. I want the world to know.
The small
That's a good old
minority
song.
stopping us from marching
is-
towards safety.
We're going into hour number 2 of the Pat McDonough Show. And you should all call. If you called last week, shut up. If you called last week, don't call this week, okay? So, but if you hadn't called last week, then call this week with this number right here. This is number. Talk to Pat. I'll go right through, and we'll go right through everything. And everything is that we'll go through. Now, if you don't want to go, hey, thank you for just watching the show, you know? How's that, huh? You could just make comments over here in the little area where Mike and David and everybody else is, and you can do that. But every Saturday from 8 to 10, be here. 6:80 a.m. WCBM.
Or more. That single ember can be just as dangerous as the wildfire
So we got
itself.
the
But you can
commercials,
do
we
something
got everything else coming.
firefighters can. You can act
I'll make
now
sure everything
to
else is
prepare
coming
your
out.
home
Yeah.
and your community for wildfire. You can
Interesting.
reduce the risk.
Interesting.
Do your part. Go to fireadapted.org.
Get fire adapted. Learn what you can do now to reduce wildfire damage later at fireadapted.org.
.com.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council. Learn more at fireadapted.org.
Somerville, Massachusetts, a sanctuary city, setting up an alert system to warn people about immigration and customs enforcement raids.
Then at Bavaria, the Welcome Project just started up a text system for residents to alert them when ICE is in their neighborhood.
It's a way for us to be able to help people.
Mayor Joe Curtatone responded to the new system on his Facebook page, writing, "Someday I hope somebody takes the time to write the story of all the people the Welcome Project has stepped up to help in recent years. Their work has been nothing short of heroic." The local ICE office had a much different reaction, telling Boston 25 News using local community organizations to help individuals evade federal immigration law, many of whom may be facing or already convicted of serious criminal charges, does not benefit but rather endangers communities.
Boston 25 reporter Kelly Sullivan. In Battle, Connecticut, Democratic Congresswoman Elizabeth Esty ignoring calls from fellow state-level Democrats to step down.
Hello, everybody, one and all. I'm glad that you're here. I wonder if my buddy Randy Neal's here. Randy Neal, we were fetuses. We grew up in the alleys of East Baltimore, and we knew how to play games the right way. No electronics, no cell phones, and we would rant about who had the color television in the neighborhood. And then we had the antennas. Like I remember watching Channel 45. It was like 1 o'clock movie with Bill Lefevre. I mean, when we were in school. But it was a good thing. Oh, and the afternoons, Captain Chesapeake, with it was great. It was nobody remembers Marine Boy and Speed Racer and all that. We had them all. It was a wonderful thing, and I would never give that up. Of me growing up without all those electronics, I love it, and I'm sad to say that other kids don't have that ever have that chance. And that's sad to me. Here we go. Back to the show.
Short cold front will approach tonight and then pass through on Sunday. And we may finish out the weekend with some wintry weather.
Now we're coming in, baby.
Tonight as we drop it back to the low to mid 40s.
In the 40s. I hate this shit. That's a disgrace. If they wanted to live in the USA, they should not have any reason not to want to be a legal citizen. This mixing pot of a country is becoming a land of squatters for the rest of the world, thanks to the irresponsible politicians. Mike Lesnar wrote that. Mike Lesnar also said that Speed Racer was my show. I like Speed Racer. I like Marine Boy with the boomerang, and totally love Lost in Space. Now on the weekends. On the weekends, I was a pure Johnny Quest fan. Johnny Quest was all the way with me, and then we had other cool ones, but Johnny Quest was one.
Promo code SLEEP. As a small business owner, you make every dollar count. So what could you do with $10?
Yep.
Today, and you get 500 high quality.
You know it, Mike. You know it, Mike. You know it. It's not always, but I know. I know.
Turn 500 strangers into connections.
4 more commercials. We're going right to the show. And remember, you should always, if anybody wants to, if you called last week, you can't call this week. So if you haven't, call this number, 410-922-6680. 410-922-6680 to talk to Pat with any issues that you have from the state. Right here. That's what it says right here.
My name is Barbara Walton.
So just call. And I'll answer the phone. I'll put you right through. We'll go right to Pat. That's how it goes.
And heated therapy pool. Our experienced team will be using top-of-the-line equipment. Call 410-575-6400 or LaurierRiverside.com.
The WCBM studios are sponsored by Safe Retirement Solutions. Call Rod Barowie, 410-266-1120. SafeRetirementSolutions.com.
The views and opinions you hear on Talk Radio 680, WCBM, and WCBM.com are not necessarily those of the owners, management, employers, and advertisers of WCBM. But they should be.
The Pat McDonough Show is brought to you by Rally for America.
Here we go.
And now more of the Pat McDonough Show on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Yeah. Cedric really hit on an important
point, what he was talking about, Laura Ingraham, I think it's called the Ingraham Angle on Fox Cable News Network. I think she's absolutely wonderful.
Yes, I do
She
too.
is just brilliant, and she is courageous. I think it's a fantastic show. So they're suspending her or doing something for 1 week because she said this guy, David Hogg, I guess his name is, or Hogg, whatever it is, who is one of either the victims or he's one of the young people that is leading the so-called protests in March, which are phony protests in March. They're phony. They're financed and organized by the radical left, by the gun grabbers, by Michael Bloomberg, and George Soros. They pay for all of this stuff. Now, we better wake up in this country because we are under attack. We are at war. Now, I have told you before, and if you don't get it, I'm sorry. People like to say, oh, it's a civil war, Pat. It's a modern-day civil war. It's those of the left and the progressive and the politically correct in disagreement with those fellow Americans, the rest of us, who are more conservative and traditional. You know, it's a division. It's different viewpoints. It's different thoughts. No, that's a civil war. In the Civil War, the Confederacy was a group of states who wanted to withdraw from the United States, from the Union, because they had a different culture, and of course they supported slavery, and they were wrong. But what they wanted to do was, they did not want to conquer the Union. They did not want to conquer Lincoln and the New York State and Pennsylvania. They did not want to conquer the Union. They wanted to leave. They wanted to withdraw.
Right.
Now, that's a civil war, okay? This is a war on America. It is a war against our traditional values.
Oh, Crying John's here.
Jesus. Culture. And more importantly, and this is the bottom line.
That's right.
It is a war against freedom and liberty as we know it and as our founders provided it to us.
Yes.
Through the struggle in the against England.
Yes.
And creating that unbelievable
Crying John.
Constitution.
Crying John called 410-922-6680. Crying John's here, everybody. 410-922-6680.
Sustain this
Call
nation
Crying John
and this dream
Call
and
the
this
pack.
concept forever. Those who are against us are conducting warfare on us and on that dream. To me, I will go right out and say it. They are fascist.
Yes.
We say, oh, they're progressives. Or they're socialists, big governments. No, they are fascists. Fascists are people who want to crush liberty.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Socialists want big government with very little liberty. Examples are all over the world. China. Venezuela, right in our backyard. And, of course, Obama's friends in Cuba.
Cuba.
That's socialism. Fascism is dictatorship. And that's what they want.
That's what they want, man.
Now, they're doing it in one of the most intelligent and clever ways ever concocted by humans to accomplish a goal.
243.
And they knew that they had to use something very special because you cannot bring down a
The
great
phone
nation,
is ringing.
a great constitutional republic like the United States of
WCBN, the
America.
Pat McDonough Show, Ron
And
Savage
the people
speaking, and who's
who
calling
have
here?
in their bloodstream the love and desire
Max
for
from East
freedom.
Baltimore. Max, you didn't call.
You cannot bring them down in a very simple
Good for you.
way.
Good for you. I'm gonna put you on.
The Nazis
Max
tried to do it.
Max from East Baltimore.
The communists tried to do it. So it's going to take something special. Now, let me tell you about some of the methods of this war on America. And the
why
reason
doesn't-
I'm now
okay,
talking about that
California
is because
situation?
of Laura Ingraham. One of the methods used by this shadow government, this political machine, is the boycott, the economic destruction
You got it.
of a conservative patriot. This is all set up.
I'll
Do
tell
you
you what,
think
you're the
just
very
a
next
bunch
caller,
of
Max
folks
from
got
East
together
Baltimore.
at the local restaurant and said, here's what we're going to
You're
do.
very next.
We're going to start
He's
go on
gonna
the
put you
computer,
in.
and we're going to
I
use
just
the
said, tune it
social
down
media,
and
and we're going to get together.
All right, thanks,
and
man.
we
Just
are
hold on there,
going
Max.
to call these companies and tell them, if you don't give old
Max from
Laura
East
a
Baltimore,
spanking,
from there.
we're not going to buy your chocolate bars anymore.
Nah.
Do you really think that that's how it happens? No. It is a constructive, well-financed, organized boycott by the shadow government that wants to destroy America.
We're waiting for Crying John to call.
If you don't believe it, ask Lou Dobbs, who used to be at CNN. In fact, ask CNN that used to be at CNN.
Yeah.
CNN doesn't even exist anymore.
No.
Washington Post doesn't exist anymore.
No.
Ask Pat Buchanan, who used to be at CNN. And ask Hannity, who used to be on Fox. How long do you think Hannity's going to last?
Yeah.
Hannity's gotten so powerful, and thank God for that. I hope the Lord protects him, because he is a great man that tells us the truth, and he tells it in a way that we can all understand it, and he knows where the truth is, and he's going after it, and he's making a difference in the world, and he's making a difference in this country.
Yes.
And he is a real hero.
Yes, he is.
And I hope they don't get to him, but they are. So we have, as part of this political strategy, the boycott. Another thing we have is litigation.
Yeah.
The attorney generals, the radical left attorney generals, like Brian Frosh in America, they're always suing the president for any kind of freedom, free enterprise legislation, regulations, constitutional law.
Yeah.
They're always suing.
Always suing.
That's
Like
part
ambulance,
of
pick a
another
chase is
political
what they are.
strategy. Another one, we see it all the time. The newly organized professional protest. It happened after the president was elected. When he was running in Chicago, they were beating up Trump people. In Chicago, they were violent. They have Antifas. They violent. One thing about Antifas is they're honest. They say they're fascists.
Yes.
And they are.
Right
They're
open.
part of
They
that
are.
team, that war on America.
George Soros
And,
funds, by the way.
So the professional protest. Do you think these young people from Parkland High School really organized 5 stages, camera angles, high-tech audio?
No, he's got a point. No way.
And
No way.
200, it wasn't 500,000, it was 200,000 people. And protests all across America. Do you really believe that? You don't think that millions and millions and millions and tens of millions of dollars went into the buses and the orchestration, and the rolls, the
Absolutely,
and the signs, the natural made signs?
Yeah.
That is another one. The political
Soros,
machine
one more
uses the
time.
boycott,
Show me the number
litigation,
again.
and the protest. Here's another
This is only, everybody close your
Media
eyes, because this is only for Crying John.
Look at the
Only
media,
for Crying John.
MSNBC.
The number is
How
410-922-6680. That's 410-922-6680. One more time, especially for Crying John. 410-922-6680.
Between them and us.
All right.
You know, we talk about the thin blue line, the police that stand between us and the criminals.
Yes.
Trump is all that stands between us
I know.
and the fascist criminals who want to destroy America.
That's sad, man.
That's why we don't care if he had a girlfriend who was a Playboy bunny or he had a girlfriend who was this or that. Yeah, we don't like it. We don't approve of it. It's not the way we live. It's not our culture.
Right.
But we know that he stands between us and them. Them.
That's right.
And then, of course,
Philip Torres. Hey, man, thank you. Fortunato Leon, how you doing, baby?
The world, the liars, the Daily Show, all liars.
Yes.
All liars.
Yes.
And the polls are starting to show that people are getting very tired of that.
Yes, they
Trump,
are.
by the way, is up 7 points.
Yeah.
He's up to 42. He's up to where Obama was, and he's going to go higher. I'm telling you, by November of this year, Trump will be at 50% or higher. And then, of course, there's the deep state, the CIA, the FBI.
Yeah.
These people that we rely on. Not all of them, obviously, but it doesn't take much. It's what President Eisenhower warned us about.
The phone is ringing. The phone. Hey, Fortunato. Hey, listen. Happy Easter.
National security complex.
WCBM.
So
The
we've
Pat
got a lot
McDonough
going
Show.
against
Speaking. Who's calling?
I don't know
tonight?
how we're going to survive. I really don't.
Oh!
Because you can add to that what?
I'll put you on, man.
The education establishment, which is all radical left, all fascist. And it's making its point. It's being successful. Why do you think all these young people are all gun grabbers, don't care about the Second Amendment?
Wait a minute, what part of
Why do you think they are just mouthing the the lines and the talking
what you
points
want-
of
what
the
you wanna
radical
talk
left
about
and the gun
is the
grabbers,
libtards
because they have never heard another viewpoint.
them
But
coming
listen
in
to
control.
this.
Yeah, say something like that.
This is out of Associated
Honestly,
Press.
the whole
in New York.
show tonight about
The
Soros
majority of
funding
young people
these
believe
Antifa people,
that President
it's
Donald
just-
Trump
it's
is
saying you
racist,
think it's wrong. That's all.
dishonest, and mentally unfit for office,
the liberal-
according to a
liberal-
new survey
talk
that finds the
liberal
nation's
take-
youngest
take 'em.
potential voters are more concerned
man.
about the Republicans' performance in the
Because that's
White
what they're
House
trying to do.
than older
Hey, John, I got
Americans
your
are.
number 2 caller. Just hold on, okay?
A poll from the
I'll put you on
Associated
live.
Press
You can see yourself live when I'm talking to you live.
Public
All
Affairs
right, so hold on.
research found that
Hold on, man.
33% of Americans between the ages of 15 and 30 approve of Trump's performance. That is 9 points lower than what the adults feel about the president.
2 minutes.
Trump doesn't care about us, said
Now,
Nicole
listen to this.
Martin, 27,
Crying John
an
called.
African-American
Wait till he
graduate
comes on.
student
You're gonna
at Missoula,
die.
Montana.
You're gonna fucking
I'm
die.
not going to say he's unfit like he has schizophrenia. I do kind of think he is twisted in the head. He just comes off as disgusting to me. The survey is the first in a series of polls designed to highlight the voices of the youngest
We're gonna have
generation
Queen. We will
of
rock
voters.
you. I know you all know that.
Respondents, all of
Mhm.
whom will be old enough to vote when Trump seeks re-election in 2020. Still, there are signs that 7 months before the midterm elections, young people appear to be more engaged in politics. Nearly half of the younger Americans, 47%, say they're personally paying closer attention to policies since Trump's election. Now, that's good news to me. I feel that's good news. But it's not good news when they have been brainwashed and inculcated with nonsense. There is widespread agreement among young people about Trump, with more than 7 in 10
This
saying
is true.
he doesn't reflect my
Michael, that's
personal
right.
value. Now, listen to this.
Yes.
This is their personal value.
Mhm.
He doesn't seem to be really for women. He doesn't seem to be for Black Lives Matter. I'm not for Black Lives Matter. That's financed by George Soros.
That's right. Neither am I.
That's anti-cop.
Yes.
He doesn't seem to be for DACA, said Megan Carnes, 23, of New York City, referring to a program to allow young immigrants. Well, he is for DACA.
Mhm.
He wants to make it permanent.
Yes.
In fact,
yes.
more than 800,000. He wants 1.2 million. All he's asking for in return from the radical left Democrats is security within the nation.
Mhm.
And they won't do that even.
Mm.
And they are the ones hurting DACA.
Yeah.
That shows you what these kids actually know. He doesn't
Zero.
seem to be worried
Zero.
about guns.
Zero.
He believes in the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
It's extremely disappointing to have a
You see
president
Pat, he's right
who doesn't
there.
seem to care.
He's right there.
That's their conclusion. He doesn't care because he doesn't
Brainwashed.
agree
Yes, Mike.
with their
Brainwashed
radical
big
left
time.
agenda.
That's right.
60% describe Trump as mentally unfit.
Mhm.
62% of him call him generally dishonest.
Mhm.
63% say he is a racist. The Youth Political Pulse poll
And they
of
listen to these
1,027
assholes.
young Americans aged 15 to 13 was conducted February the 22nd to March the 9th.
Oh, boy.
The margin of sampling error was 4%.
Mm.
This is what I'm saying about this war on America, on our beliefs, on our system, on our
Everything,
constitutional
everything.
republic. It is successful.
Yeah.
We are losing. It has been successful, and we are losing. And if you don't think we're losing, why do you think our young people, our future generations of tomorrow, are that twisted, that far out, that uninformed, that they feel that way about the president, and they feel that way about the rest of us? We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Here we go, Queen, baby.
We're here from 1-800-GOT-JUNK to clean out your garage.
Oh, I
How
hate
did you
this
get here so fast?
I'll open the garage door.
So much I hate this commercial.
You sure you can handle it? Zero problem, sir.
We got so much bullshit, so much taken over, and everything else, which and lies. What are you gonna do? We have to stick together on this one. It's very important because if they, I just want all the government. They want all the government to rule us. Everything we do is government, like a puppet. You know, that's not going to happen with me. But what can happen is for you to call this number and talk about what I just talked about, 410-922-6680. Oh, the fun's coming. We got Crying John on the line. We got Max in East Baltimore. Hello, Max. Yeah, Max. I'm sorry. I'm getting back to you to make sure that you're still on there, and you're the very next one coming on. All right, thank you, Max. Please hold on.
I used to fit in this category until I made my first appointment with Dr. Ed Laser.
Yeah, so Crying John Institute, we're calling because we're going to let you know you're calling number 2. We're going to the commercial break, but we're telling you to hang on. Just hang on, Sloopy, and because of that, we're going to play for you. Hang on, Sloopy. Matter of fact, let's put it on there.
High quality services.
I can hear you.
A fortune. Dr. Laser even has an in-office membership plan that covers.
Listen to the show every week. But listen, I gotta hang up, but I'll put you on hold, and because I gotta find the play for you. Hang on, Sloopy, by Razy Lewis Trio. The Razy. No, I'd say we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll be right on.
Make this the year you finally get
plug your phone in. Can you plug your phone in, Jesus?
$77.99.
The expensive mattress you're considering buying is a waste of
Nah, don't worry, Dan. Just a call talk.
Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of HelixSleep.com.
You've been sick? I'm sorry. All right, man. Jesus Christ.
$600. Just go to HelixSleep.com, fill out our 2-minute sleep survey, and we'll design a mattress made just for you.
Well, man, I hope not. You know. Christ almighty. This last week, man, I've been all week. That's my birthday weekend. Freaking drinking my. No, it's okay. I hardly look with one eyeball. I could only see. But anyways, I'm gonna put you on hold, and then we'll get you on there. We only got a couple of commercials coming up. I just talked to Max from East Baltimore. He's gonna come on, and you. All right, man. Just hang in there, baby. Hang in there, baby. I'm playing Hang On Sloopy for you, so hang on. All right. Hold on. And how many times did you ever say, let's go into protest and fuck everything up? I don't know. There was a time when Alice Cooper came out with School's Out. I did some crazy. WCBM, it's Pat McDonough Show. Ron Savage speaking, and who's calling, please?
6 to 8 p.m. on WCBM, sponsored by Bread Services.
High pressure is pushed offshore. Cold front will approach tonight and then pass through on Sunday. And we may finish out the weekend with some wintry weather. The clouds build in tonight as we drop it back to the mid-40s. Overcast skies Sunday.
Did you call last week, Bob? Did you call last week?
Sunday night, snow can mix
Oh, let me get you on here.
35.
I'm going to put you on right now. Bob from Baltimore.
I'm Jeff Eno, the Weather Channel.
And in a couple words, how can I label this topic for you, Bob?
Part of one of Maryland's treasured traditions. It's the Preakness Balloon Festival, May 11th through May 13th at the Howard County Fairgrounds. This event will include activities aimed toward young children and those young at heart.
Black Lives Matter. What else? Antifa?
Handmade crafts, retail and food vendors, Kids Zone, live music on stage both Friday and Saturday.
You got it. You're number 3, Bob. You're right after Crying John, and we'll start up with Max, all right? All right, my friend, hold on, please. Right. See, we got to come back on, Harry.
Information, go to PreaknessBalloonFestival.com. That's PreaknessBalloonFestival.com.
Bob from Baltimore.
This year's major sponsors are Nathan's Famous
Bob from Baltimore.
And Wise Markets.
Oh, yeah, Mike. They're freaking brainwashed.
This year's Preakness Balloon Festival is brought to you
Baltimore.
in part
Bob,
by
Max is Crying John.
Girls Bath and Child, Chick-fil-A, and by Power
Crying John.
Hi, I'm Scott Tannen, founder of Boll & Branch. We make the
Here we go.
softest, most comfortable organic cotton sheets
Cool.
you'll ever sleep on. Because we only sell them online at bollandbranch.com, our sheets cost less than half of designer brands
You gotta wait,
and are
baby.
twice the quality. Hundreds of thousands of Americans love Boll & Branch sheets, including 3 U.S. presidents.
WCBM,
Right now, get
hold on for a minute. I'm
$50
going to
off
get you on
your
the
first
air.
set of sheets plus free shipping at bollandbranch.com.
Hold on, Bob. I can't wait. Just hold on the line.
And branch.com.
Hold on 1 second.
Promo code SLEEP.
Here we go.
And now more of the Pat McDonough Show on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Welcome back, everybody. Let us go to our callers, and we'll start off with John in Baltimore.
Yeah.
John, good evening.
John, hit it.
Talking to me?
Yeah.
If you're John, yes, I am talking to you, John.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Is this Pat?
This is Pat. Yes, indeed.
Yes, it is.
How you doing, Pat?
I'm doing well.
Yay!
1,000% agreement with you. And this liberal takeover.
See now, John, I won't call them liberals, and I'll tell you why. This is where I think we make our mistake. Liberals are people like Harry Truman, to some extent, maybe John Kennedy. These are people that we just have a simple disagreement with philosophically. These are not liberals. The days of the liberals are gone. The liberals have been conquered on the Democrat side by the radicals. These are radicals and fascists.
Hey, Bob.
I agree.
I'm
with that.
sorry. I'm sorry. You're on the.
Yeah, the problem, I was, of course, I know Ron very well. I talk about this all the time. The millennials, these young kids over
Let me
there,
finish down.
they don't know what rights they're losing because they never knew what rights they had.
That's correct.
They're stepping all over the United States Constitution. When the forefathers wrote the Constitution, they knew that men were corrupt and that eventually government would become corrupt. So they put safeguards in the Constitution to protect us. They have basically stepped all over.
All right, Bob, I got you. Just hold on.
Taking our rights away from us. Every day they're stripping.
You're welcome, Bob.
And
You're welcome.
people, the millennials, they're misinformed. They don't even know what they're protesting or rallying for. They just give
Okay,
Well,
good.
you're so right, and I have
Listen to the crying John. He's saying some good stuff, everybody.
What do they call it? The canary in the coal mine.
The canary in the
You
coal
all are
mine.
Familiar with the canary in the coal mine? They used to take a canary into the coal mine.
Yes.
And if the canary passed out, the men in the coal mine would know that was the first sign that they were in trouble.
Yes.
This generation that I'm talking about, and we are talking about, is the canary in the coal mine for America's loss of its liberty. This generation, as you said, John, does not even care because they don't know any better.
Right, they're uneducated, misinformed.
What are they? Well, they're uneducated, they're misinformed, and they have been propagandized. Just like the Nazis in Germany in the 30s, the young people, they only knew one way because that's all they were taught. But my question to you and to every listener out there, what are we going to do about it?
I don't know if we can do anything about it. Sometimes my neighbor used to say it's too far gone, we did it to ourselves. And I was going to touch on that very subject. The United States government went into Germany after the war, seized all the records and everything. They're doing the same thing that Hitler was doing. First thing he did was he stripped them of all their weapons, so you can't protect yourself. Because my friend said it. He said if 6 million Jews had 6 million guns, they'd have never been to run over top of them.
If 2 million slaves had guns, we would have gotten rid of slavery before we had a civil war.
Exactly. I mean, the thing is that they learned that. They learned everything from the Germans. So they, Hitler.
There is a pattern here. I'm going over to Barnes and Noble tomorrow. It's Easter. I don't know if they're open or not, but I'm picking up a book that I had to order.
Hey, Laurie, did you call last
that
week?
talks about what you and I are talking about right now in some detail by a very well-informed person. And but here is the problem, John. Every time I ask somebody, what can we do about it? They actually say the same thing you say. We're too far gone. We really can't do anything about it.
Some people
I don't
like
understand.
trying to sweep the image back with a broom. I mean, it's
I
like
the last Pope. The Polish Pope was the best.
Well, it's a sad state of affairs. And Obama and Bush and the whole establishment presidential posse back to Clinton really took us over the top, didn't they?
Yes, they are only worried about themselves.
No,
They were only
this
worried
one,
about
I'm Catholic, and I'll tell you what, he's
becoming wealthy. They didn't care about the
leaning
American
very good to the
people or
liberal
American
side.
workers. People back
Big
on
time.
Trump. I tell
Big
people
time.
every day. I say,
It's just,
guy up and down.
hey, thank you so much. You call that next week, okay? Happy Easter, sweetheart. Bye-bye. Beautiful.
Empire.
What was I doing? Oh, putting commercials
Trump is
in.
the only one that
Connection kept cutting out
between us.
Yeah.
And the end.
It did.
All right, thank you. I hope we have more Trumps in the future.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to talk with Max.
Crying John. Go on, Max. There you go.
Wow.
Cheer for Crying John. He did a wonderful job. Bad like what Crying John said, I tell you that.
Nothing like this. It's like we're living in the world of Bizarro Superman.
Bizarro.
I want to touch on two things. This thing with the leftist thing. I watched a lot of history documentaries. I've studied a lot of history. And we are seeing the same system of indoctrination and of subversion that the communists did trying to take over nations, that Hitler did with the Hitler.
Yeah, but it's even better.
It is.
It's even more advanced.
There's a guy named Griffith who made a series of 5 or 6 movies. Ronald Reagan narrated one of them, Truth About Communism. And it's all a different historical era, like maybe 30 years ago. But as you watch this stuff, you can see it, and you know this is how we got here. We got to do some really serious stuff to get out of this. They're already calling the government and the politicians that are trying to do right fascists anyway.
Yeah, political correctness, name calling, personal. I get it. Let me tell you, they're scared to death of me because I speak the truth and I'm not afraid to speak it.
That's right.
And that is the most dangerous person in the world.
There it is right there.
Baltimore County. I mean, what you and I are talking about, Max,
right.
is all over the country and really it's all over the world. But in our little world here in Baltimore, let me tell you, Maryland is already gone.
No.
Maryland is done. California is done. But Baltimore City will never, ever come back to freedom and free enterprise. But right here in Baltimore County, there's an interesting phenomena going on. All of the big guys, all of the establishment, they're all after me. Why are they after me? Because they do not want me to have a position of power and authority and a bully pulpit.
Their agenda, man. You're not doing the narrative.
No, and they know I know their agenda.
You know,
and that scares them.
The worst situation we have right now is the state of California. All the crazy lawsuits. And
do you hear what's going on?
They're refusing to comply with
the fan is
law.
Well, they're a different country now. That country has been conquered. If you looked at the United States as if it were 50 countries, California has already been conquered by the shadow government. The federal courts are all radical leftists. The General Assembly, the local councils, there are very few Pat McDonoughs left in California.
I think we have a precedent to solve this problem.
Yeah.
Remember in the 60s when certain states didn't want to comply with certain federal laws?
Send in the troops.
Send in the troops. I think we should send in federal troops.
Why won't Jeff Sessions arrest these people?
I know.
And occupy the state, take over stuff. Crime in Baltimore City is another thing. I would love to see a law passed so that every week the verdict and the judge's names are published.
That can be done. It's called Court Watch. We're going to do it in Baltimore County. We're going to put it on a computer. It's going to be on a website.
Wow.
Great.
Yes.
But we need to know who to hold.
And you know what else we need?
Child molesters that have been.
You know what else we need? We need someone who has a position of authority, has a high profile, a mayor or a county executive or a governor who will come out and say, Judge Smith is a problem in this county.
Yeah.
Judge Smith is allowing criminals to go free.
Oh.
We have got to start showing up at Judge Smith's courtroom and get it done.
Every time you hear of some guy that's a child molester or a rapist, he's always got previous convictions.
Sure.
Half the time he's out on early release or probation.
Yeah, but see, you're a racist, and in addition to that, you're a hater.
Well, check this out. I tell people, yes, I am a racist for the human race, and I'll do anything to keep fascists from destroying it.
All right, Max. Thank you, buddy. All right, we got to take another call here. We have open lines if you've been trying to get in, 410-922-6680, 410-922-6680, or the long distance toll free number.
We're also glad
is
that
1-800-922-6688.
Mike Lester has sound. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Lester now has
And
sound.
also, if you want your
And we'll
friends to
be
tune
bringing
in
you
and pick
back
us up
your
on
regularly
Saturday
scheduled
night,
program.
because they're farther away,
Is that good, Mike? I try my best. I try my freaking best. For you, man.
And we're as clear as a bell. Probably clearer than we are on your radio.
Yes.
WCBM.com.
Absolutely.
Here
Absolutely.
is Bob in Baltimore. Bob, good evening.
Bob, hit it.
Good evening to you, Pat, and all those listening. My question is for our conversation tonight, and maybe throughout time as things develop, is this: are Black Lives Matter and
WCBM,
Antifa,
I'm sorry, WCBM, the Pat McDonough Show. Savage speaking. Who's calling tonight?
the military wing of
Who?
the Democrat Party is
Bill,
being
did you call last
cultivated today as the Ku Klux
Okay,
Klan
Bill,
was the
let me get
military
you
wing
here.
of the Democrat Party in years past.
Well, that's a good example from history because it definitely was the military wing. It was the weaponized part of the Democrat Party. But the Democrat Party is just another victim of the shadow government and the radical left and the fascists that are taking over America. The Democrat Party used to be a Democrat Party with John Kennedy and Harry Truman, even Lyndon Johnson to some degree. But, I mean, they have now been exploited and conquered, and they're no longer the Democrat Party. They are one. I don't know. Here's how I would look at it. It is like an alliance of different forces. The radical Democrat.
So education.
I
Start
hate
with that. Is
when,
the answer.
When Republicans and conservatives use the term liberal or progressive. If we could start to call them the radical Democrats, make a law. Make a law.
Oh my God.
Implicate all of the conservatives. Call them the radical Democrats. They are just
Well,
one
basically,
part,
the
like I said
presentation shall
earlier,
have this.
higher
It's not,
education,
yeah, you're absolutely
culture,
right. It's like that
entertainment,
is like the Valley
media,
Girls thing.
phony protests, lawlessness of all types
No.
and stripes. That is all part of the shadow government or
Oh no, God, yeah,
movement
yeah.
to
It really
destroy
makes my
America.
ears bleed.
And the
But
reason
I'll tell you what, I
that
think you're coming up
mentioned
next.
and
Let's see if I can
answered
get you. We got a
the
commercial
question
right on
is
top of it.
because
Please hold on,
what's
Bill. You'll
happening
be right on.
through those
Thank you,
groups
sir.
and their sponsors helps to dramatize the destructive force of the political
Right on the
left.
commercial?
Just how liberal, regressive, and radical it is.
Right
Well, you
on.
got to remember the foundation of the
No shit.
the
Oh, don't do that.
radical left, as I call them, and their fascists. Fascism is based on lawlessness.
That's right.
Look at President Obama. President Obama constantly issued executive orders and memos that were based on
You
lawlessness,
got
and the
it.
Supreme Court had to admonish him. He did not believe in the rule of law.
You got it.
And he tried to mask that with being diplomatic and
Yes,
saying
he
it in
did.
ways, but he was an evil man who had that as
He was a radical left part of the assault on America, the war on America,
Yep.
which is must
Yes, he
have
was.
lawlessness. The assault on America cannot survive through the rule of law. It must have lawlessness. Look at the memo that went out to the 99 superintendents of schools across America from Obama that said you cannot punish young people. You cannot have a student conduct rule that punishes young people because they come from minority families and the disadvantaged, and it will destroy their egos and they will go to prison. The opposite occurs. If there are no consequences and you allow them to be lawless, the opposite occurs. Then they go to prison. Look at how the radical left thinks about crime. They don't believe in the death penalty.
Right.
They don't believe in repeat offenders
Nope.
having mandatory sentencing.
Slap
They
on the
don't believe
freaking
in arresting
wrist. Unless
and
I'm locked up, then throw away the key,
Look
right?
at the state of Maryland. We're
Right.
famous for that. The radical left is always in favor of lawlessness.
We'll go to Ahab the Arab for
they're very
leaving
selective in how
song
they
for the commercial.
expose crime and what they
Ray
consider
Stevens.
crime, including Melania Trump wearing spiked heels from the White House to the helicopter when she was on her way to the ravages of Houston under Hurricane Harvey.
Well, these are tactics. This is the tactic of personal destruction. You see, they can't fight you with the truth. These children that they are misleading, they are the modern day slaves on the plantation of fascism in America because they are being inculcated K through 12 all the way into higher education with misinformation and lies
It's mind-boggling.
and a hatred for America's history, America's dreams, America's image, all designed to do what? To set them free, To educate them? No, designed to enslave them.
Enslave them.
And I was just in the supermarket
Right on the
a few
break.
minutes before calling you, and there was a young guy there, and we were talking, and he liked music,
Right on the
so I
break.
talked with him about that, and then I saw an opportunity to move into the subject of our nation and our history because he seemed to be interested and engaging. So John was the first caller after the half hour and asked, what can we do? Well, that's one example of what we can do. Use opportunities to engage.
Yeah, we have to set up, Bob, we have to set up a structure of education, information, and outreach to young people.
3 minutes
and
into
build
it. That's a
our
big
own
time
schools,
overtime, but it's cool.
Build our own information assemblies and our academies and teach young people. I have a lot of young people in my campaign, a lot of young people.
Yes, he does.
And they are all conservative and patriotic, and they are out there, and they are looking for the truth.
Yes,
Thank
they
you,
are.
Bob. We'll be right back.
To the Sultan's king, where he was secretly meet up with Fatima of the South.
The expensive mattress you're considering buying is a waste of money because it isn't customized to you. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of HelixSleep.com, the only place to get a customized mattress starting at just $600. Just go to HelixSleep.com, fill out our 2-minute sleep survey, and we'll design a mattress made just for you. With a
We're in the last 15
trial,
minutes of the show, man, and it's
0%.
thank you all for
Limited time.
watching.
Get $50 off your
Thank you all,
mattress
man. Every
when you
Saturday
go to
night,
HelixSleep.com
join me the
/talk
savage
radio.
mode.
That's
And
HelixSleep.com/talk
for the
radio.
Pat McDonough show every Saturday night. Every Saturday night. And I'm glad that you can come and listen to the show. And if you got, my friend, you can watch the show streamlined every weekend. Promise. I should see if this freaking thing.
It's our meats that are all natural. Our meats are all natural.
Usually have somebody coming in for the show.
Natural and free fresh.
But
No.
As a small business owner, you make every dollar count. So what can you do with $10? Go to Vistaprint.com today and you'll get 500
There it
high-quality
is.
custom business cards for only $9.99. That's less than 2 cents
Ning,
per
ning,
card.
ning, ning,
And
ning.
at Vistaprint, your satisfaction is absolutely guaranteed.
Okay.
So it's never been
Put it
easier
in.
to turn 500 strangers
What?
into connections. Just visit Vistaprint.com and use promo code 2000 at checkout. That's
Open with what?
Vistaprint.com, promo code 2000.
Personally,
Aha.
many of you guys know that getting your teeth fixed is something you needed to have done
Boing.
for a long time, but you put it off.
Yes.
I used to fit into this category until I made my first appointment with Dr. Ed Laser, a cosmetic and advanced.
I'm just prepping right now because following the
Like me, you no longer need to worry about
Pat
paying for
McDonough show
procedures or not
is
having
Tom Moore's
insurance
show.
or even how much
And
this is gonna set you back financially.
sometimes if they don't show up, I
Because the hassle
I
of
get
the
a
cosmetic
a
is quick,
pre-recorded
high-quality
show,
services, won't
and I'll
cost
go
you a
into
fortune.
that. That's
Dr.
another
Laser
thing
even
that
has
I,
an in-office membership plan that
always
covers
watch your
routine
tracks.
training,
Always watch your
x-rays,
tracks.
and emergency exams.
It's just crazy.
His clean, modern
But we're
offices
into the last 15 minutes of the show,
with
and it's kick ass. Every week you should listen to the Pat McDonough show, and you're going to hear the real news, not the fake news. You're going to hear the real news. That's the real news. The Pat McDonough every weekend right here on WCBM 680 AM, and on my page. Ron Savage, we'll streamline. You can see everything as the show goes on. So you should have a good time.
Say all we have to do is point.
The radio speaks the truth, ma'am. Give it a try.
Can you fight your way to that refrigerator back there? It's gone.
We got this. So one more 30 seconds, and we'll go running in. Again, I want to wish everybody a happy Easter and great. I will be handling one of the Easter egg hunts for my niece and the nephews. And I hide the money eggs. What else? But I do. I take care of it. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. But man, on Monday, well, they say it's going to freaking like rain and snow. Jesus. Some things I'm not very happy about. Okay, we're going to go into the show. We got the last 10 seconds of this commercial, and we're going to play "Come On, Eileen," Pat McDonough's theme, one of the theme songs for the ending show.
Lori in Columbia. The original, the best.
And now more of the Pat McDonough Show on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Welcome back, everybody. When we ask the question, what can we do about it? There is another question that needs to be asked
Had it faded
before
up,
we
baby.
ask that question.
Yes.
That is, should we do something about it?
Mm-hmm.
I think most of us would agree that yes, we should.
Yeah.
But it is discouraging. It's overwhelming. When you see the control
Crazy.
of those who disagree with us on the radical left,
Yeah.
that they have over the news media, entertainment, California, Hollywood, politics,
Yes.
even big business like Zuckerberg and Bezos and these
Yeah.
gigantic businesses.
The book of the face. Mm-hmm.
And politics. And of course, they've totally destroyed the Democrat Party. When you see this, and they have totally destroyed many young minds, it's discouraging, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You have children, you have grandchildren, you think to yourself, 10 years from now, what kind of world will this be with the United States, a fascist nation without freedom, political correctness, with no truth, no privacy? What kind of world will this be without a real, free, and powerful America? What kind of world will my children and grandchildren grow up in? Will they be denied the freedom that I experienced, the freedom that our brave men and women fought for centuries to preserve this nation? Would all the millions of lives that have gone as fallen heroes have been wasted, that we come to this? When you think about it in those terms, and you look into the eyes of your grandchildren,
there it is,
and you say, I'm not going to abandon you to that kind of work. But the question is, how do we do it? What do we do? These young people, even the millennials are really the first generation that are sending us a signal that the poison has taken effect. They're the first generation. They're the first canaries in the coal mine to give us serious warning. President Obama was the first president. There are those who say, oh, he was the first African-American president. No, he was more than that. He was the first socialist president.
Yes.
That moved this country along on the agenda towards oblivion. And he was very, very good at it. And he's not going away. And those who support him and the team that he's part of, they're not going away. The one thing I can guarantee you that I know for sure, they are not going away. So we are at a critical moment in history. We are at the crossroads, and we are in the ninth inning. And if we do not come out with a home run, Donald Trump was a player who came to bat in the ninth inning in America and hit a tie home run. He tied the game.
That's it.
He gave us a chance to go into extra innings. And maybe in extra innings, we can win the game. I think it would be very difficult, very challenging. But that's all Donald Trump did. Donald Trump did not win the game.
No.
He tied the game.
Yes.
He gave us a new breath.
Yes, it is.
But when you see these millennials who are the older kids, and then you look at these young high school people who they are now entrapping, how easy was it for them to go to Parkland and bring these hundreds of kids?
This is true.
Make them organizers, and then all across the country.
Thank you, your viewers. It's so great.
Lie, mislead, and deceive all of our young minds
one more time
into believing the Second
Here we go.
Amendment was something bad.
One more time.
And at the same
419-922-6680.
time,
Call us number
because Obama's memo
419-922-6680.
said that this
Call.
murderer
I'll talk to you.
could never have been convicted.
Amen.
39 times he
There
went
it
to
is.
the police, no record. 16 times high school violations, no
Unbelievable.
record. That was because of Obama's
Yeah.
memo. Remember what I told you? The radical left that wants to destroy America believes in
Yes.
lawlessness.
Lawless.
Evil is lawlessness.
Yes, it
no
is.
rule of law. And that's why those young people were murdered, because there was no rule of law to protect them. And the young people who came after that were deceived, were wounded in the same way. So this is where we are. So the question is, what can we do about it? Well, One of the best examples of one of the things we can do about it is the most criticized organization in the United States of America. And why is it criticized? Why is it constantly attacked? It is constantly attacked and lied about because it is successful. And that is the NRA. The NRA is successful. It's a winner. They have a system where they politically have influence, and they have educated people, and they have recruited millions and millions of Americans to their cause, and they have used the media, they have used political influence to protect the Second Amendment, which protects the First, which protects the Constitution. So they are valuable. So, Pat, why are you talking about them when you say, what can we do to fight this war on America? Because we need to create a multitude of NRAs. We need to create organizations that not only defend the Second Amendment, we need to create organizations that defend education, equality, and honesty with our young people. And I'm going to tell you that just like the radical left has wealthy people like Bezos and Zuckerberg and people like that, and Warren Buffett, that cajoly old guy, is a radical leftist. Just like we have people like that,
jolly old guy,
Ted Steyer, financing the environment, financing the causes of the left. We do not have enough wealthy people financing the causes of the right.
Hi, and who's this?
They will not cough it up.
Joe, did you call last
They
week?
will not support organizations or even create organizations to fight back. So the radical left is relentless. They're not going away. They're not going anywhere, and they're very, very successful. And if the conservative, patriotic right, as I said, Donald Trump has bought us some time.
Okay, you just hold on. We'll
It
get
was a
you
ninth
caller
inning
number two.
tying home run. That was about it.
Thank you, Joe.
It's up to us. So we'll see what happens, okay? We'll see what happens in this country. We'll see what happens in Washington.
Joe from Timonium just
We'll
called.
see what happens in Baltimore County because it's all connected. It's all tied together.
Yes, it is.
All right, here is Bill in Owings Mills. Bill, good evening.
Go, Bill.
Yes, hi, how are you?
Good.
Wish you a lot of success on your run for county executive. You'll be getting my vote. There's a lot of things I'd like to talk about, but because of time, I'm going to have to limit it to two things. The first one is, how do we get rid of George Soros? Meaning,
You know, I've often thought of that.
to get rid of it. How is he so invincible?
I don't know how he gets away with this.
No, me neither.
He
Me
tried to
neither.
bankrupted the Malaysian economy.
He bankrupted Britain.
Right.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned,
And they're trying to get him out of Hungary, his home country. The guy who's the president of Hungary knows him well and hates him.
right. I'd like to hear somebody come up with a solution to that one. But you're coming up with people today that are totally uneducated and stupid. They keep referring to this country as a democracy. It's a represented constitutional republic. That's where you start.
Yes.
Secondly, you have no mother and father with any kind of values anymore, where you believe in God,
Legal
believe in
ID,
Christ,
baby.
or you believe in the Jewish religion
There we go.
that, has 10 commandments that are being eradicated. They have no sense of value. They don't believe in getting married before you have children.
Zero.
Education is poo-pooed.
Oh, boy, I tell you.
And my parents had it right. They got married, then they had me. They worked, then they had me. That's the only thing.
Same here.
This playing around, with sexual immorality it's called sin.
Well, look at the single parent child. Look at the
Dynamics.
barbarism and the murder and the destruction and the drugs that have been caused by the single parent child.
Yeah, let me tell your listeners something. There was a girl called Kate Steinle that was killed. So if you want sanctuary cities, you're going to get more of that. And if you don't act now, you deserve what you get.
All right. Hey, Bill, we're going to have to take one more caller before we get out of here. Thank you. Thank you for the call. And we'll talk with Joe, who is in Timonium, our last caller of the night. Joe, good evening.
Good evening. How are you, Patrick?
Fine.
Good Irish police. Listen, I'd like to say something about Donald Trump. He is the only guy we got for hope. He is the new father of our country. I'm telling you, if you don't obey our father and listen to what he's saying, I'm telling you, we're going to be down the creek.
Well, as I said before, he has
take the
tied
call
the
list and
ball
put it in my.
He has given us a second
I got a
chance.
mail slot
because
for the radio station.
if
Ron
Hillary
Savage
had
slot.
won, and they're trying to assassinate Trump.
Yeah.
The entire radical left uses every weapon in their arsenal. They use these children. They use protests. They use boycott. They use media. They use the deep state. They use the Democrat Party. They use every weapon in their arsenal to assassinate this man and get rid of him. And the problem is, I mean, they may even go to the extreme at some point, but we hope and pray that never happens. But it is not outside the realm of possibility if all the other stuff does not work. So we should pray for this man every single day.
I do. And I tell you one thing, he is a true American. He did it the American way. His dad left him with something, and look what he built. I mean, he's trying to build America all up again. I mean, he's trying to get jobs. He's trying to get people educated. He's trying to get people out of welfare, giving them jobs so they can be educated. What more could you ask?
And he's meeting with some success.
Yeah.
He's doing a great job. I mean, between all the baloney that they've been putting on that man, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's totally, and I don't understand how the Clintons and the Obamas get away with what they get and nobody.
Well, Jeff Sessions has disappointed me.
I just don't get it. I don't get it.
I think, listen, if I was Trump, I would reach the point, I would definitely fire Rosenstein. I would get him out of there, and I would fire Mueller.
Absolutely.
Well, look, we are at the end of the rope here. So thank you for the call, Joe.
And if you don't stand behind them, it's terrible.
All right, buddy. Thank you for the call. That is it. So Passover, Easter, it's all here. Good stuff. And we will be back again with you next week. There's 1 week left in the Maryland General Asylum. The carpet bombing is coming on hot and heavy. April the 9th, it's over. Baseball's back.
Yes.
Someday, I believe we will have warm weather. But always remember, truth and knowledge guarantee liberty.
Yes.
Keep the faith. Keep punching.
There it is. Yeah. Rolling Stones, guys.
Stay connected with stimulating talk and breaking news
Bada-bang.
on Talk Radio 680 WCDM.
There we go, everybody. Have a great weekend. And happy Easter and all the wonderful things that come with it.
Duffy, Fox News. President Trump is on the